Sounds good. You sound check everything? Sure?
Perfect.
Okay.
45?
Oh.
45?
Yeah. Good take. Well, welcome everybody here to Chop It Up with Tony. Thank you for joining me. I am with special guest SG3 for episode number 4. Thank y'all for stopping up by. But SG3, say what's up, man.
What's going on, y'all? It's me. It's SG3. How y'all doing, man? Woo-hoo!
It's good, man.
It's
Cheers.
good.
Welcome.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Welcome,
Yeah, welcome.
I'm over here welcoming you into your own shop.
That's what's
I've been
up.
doing this for too long.
Yeah, I know. It's been what's going on. Like, if you guys know, we had the reject rundown. Obviously, they put on pause and stuff like that. He's been a co-host. He's been a partner in crime. You know, everything in that nature.
Cousins too, man.
Cousin, family. So it's good. It's good to catch up and chop it up. You know,
Yeah,
it's been a
straight
good
up.
minute, right?
Honestly,
So, but you know, to bring you on, what's been new going on SG3? What's the updates? Anything like that? Any
First,
crazy?
Say hi to my honey. Hi, baby. How you
Oh my
doing?
God.
I say hi, to my
Hi,
honey.
baby. How you doing?
Hey, my fault if you don't say hi to your wife.
Man, she knows how to say hi. She knows.
It's all good, bro. Honestly, you complete me. I love you.
I don't do that now.
Honestly, no, bro. No, I mean, life is good right now. Right now, as you know, I'm part of Windy City Cyber. So with cousin Joe over there, we're doing it. Yeah, we're actually getting big, stuff like that. We're actually getting bigger than what we did. Like every single week, we're increasing the view numbers.
Right.
So it's pretty awesome, bro. Honestly, it's pretty awesome. Can't wait to start talking about football again. Start looking into doing my own thing. It's within about 2 months. I'm gonna be starting. We'll see how that goes.
Excited. It's exciting. I mean, like, and you're a big sports guy and stuff like that. And it's good to have you on just because obviously there's a lot of stuff going on. New changes, new people talking, retirements. You just filled me in the green room a while ago. And the world has been fun for sports. And let's put it this way. How crazy the world is going on right now. You know, with whole ICE thing and, you know, government stuff.
Iran 2 hours ago.
All that, everything what's going on right now. The good thing is that I think America has been, you know, relied on a lot. And when things like this occurred, something that happened with sports, whether it be what going on with Ali, you know, shout out, rest in peace. Whether it be with women's baseball when the men went to war, football, women's soccer, and stuff like that. All that kind of stuff. It's like people look to sports to get away from things.
Keep the mind away from
exactly, right? Go give your mind away for a lot of stuff or whatever. But you know, as far as excitement is concerned, what excites you the most right now? Really?
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna get you something. I'm gonna get you both. I'm gonna get both you and Zach the next something. Go ahead, man. Go ahead and feast on this. As y'all know, my boy John Jones retired.
That's right.
He's officially retired.
Go. Get out. Goodbye. See you later. Hasta luego. Bon voyage. Don't let the door hit you with a split you, whatever case it be. Kick rocks. Sayonara. Peace out.
Are you just mad because he never lost?
I don't fucking care. Look, I was a big fan of him from the get-go, like I always said before. I was a big fan of him in the beginning. Once he started getting into his dumb shit and when UFC was pampering him, catering him, coddling him,
he came back and never lost.
Yeah, whatever.
I'm just saying, there was never ring rust.
Whatever.
We saw it with Spider Silver, we saw it with Conor McGregor, we saw it with everybody else.
Whatever. Well, you know, being on drugs and still winning, I don't know. Yeah, it is what it is. Not taking away the wins because of no contest. It is what it is.
That's damn good, man.
That's fine.
Because your boy can't do the same thing, right?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, no, you can. I agree with you on that one.
And as y'all know, Tom Aspinall is now the undisputed UFC champion. Mm-hmm. There is no more interim. He's now the undisputed.
Yeah.
People were talking today now about bringing back Francis Ngannou. He said, no, we're not going to bring him back.
Because he ran. Come on, we said it too when that happened. He ran away from Jones. It was more or less like it was primed and ready for you. You were literally the undisputed heavyweight champion at the time in your division. Jones wanted to move up. This was going to be that super mega fight that Dana White loves to make, right? He loves to make those type of super fights to give the world what boxing sometimes it's hard for them to do, is give you a mega fight at their primes, not wait 10 years later in their primes.
Well, I mean, you got it now. Kind of switching sports.
Right?
You got it now. Canelo versus Crawford.
They're both right towards the end.
So I mean, September 13th. It's already been booked. It's gonna be in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes.
Crawford actually moving up with 2 weight classes. So
2 weight classes.
Now, how do you think that? Now, based on that, as far as the Canelo versus Crawford, you're a Bud fighter. You're a Bud guy. Is as far as what to do to win, what do you feel like he needs to do?
You and I both know what he's got to do. Don't be starting this shit.
What?
He's got to knock him the fuck out.
You gotta knock him out. I agree. You know,
you can't go to the decision. Either you stop the fight or you knock him out. I ain't at there now.
and let's say, for instance, they go 10 rounds, and Crawford has done most of the work, and all of a sudden Canelo ends up winning the fight. What does that do to the world of boxing?
What did it do when he did the same thing to Gennady Golovkin?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you think about that one.
Yeah.
Hell, they were almost about to give it to Chavez Jr. when he fought Sergio Martinez, but yeah. Oh my God. We're not going to look at that one either, right?
Right.
That's, I mean, we've seen it. Manny Pacquiao's coming back. That's my guy. That's my G, but don't come back. Manny, stay home. Stay with politics.
Please.
Manny, stay home.
Come on.
Manny, you my guy. You my
everyone loves the comeback story, and everyone's seen it. You know, what's it called? Foreman did it. Freaking who else done it when it comes to boxing or whatever? Bigger fighters.
Foreman, Ali.
Yeah. Ali.
Tyson.
So
Tyson.
It's nice. There's some good stories, but I think in this case scenario, Pacquiao, come on, man. Just
call it
stay
quits. Just call it quits. There's that one. There's that right now. Right now, also you got NFL.
Mm-hmm.
I just sent you a couple of things over the past couple of days that have been happening. Ravens side Jair Alexander.
What does that do to Green Bay?
Listen, Green Bay, they have a system that works. It may not win them championships, but it works. That's the thing, and people don't look at it. Everyone's like, man, Green Bay, blah, blah, blah. Nah, Green Bay's got a good system. There's always been a good system
Overall.
franchise.
Okay.
Multiple years they got into the playoffs. I can't remember the last time they didn't make the playoffs. So what, 2019, 2018, 2017?
Probably 2018 because Chicago went.
2018, yeah. No, 2019.
The following year?
Yeah.
When they didn't go.
Yeah, when they didn't go.
They didn't go at the same time as Chicago did in 2018.
2018, but there was a lot of injuries. But then after that, it was like 20.
So then from 2019 on.
Yeah, it was like another year. But other years, they haven't missed it.
Yeah.
Packers don't miss the playoffs.
Yeah.
We can't say the same thing about our beloved Bears.
I know.
And here I am wearing the hat.
You know what? It amazes me how you're a love hater kind of guy. And it's I wouldn't say hater in that perspective, hate him. But
here's the thing.
It's their decisions.
No, it's beside this decision. Listen, I'm a diehard Bear fan. I know a lot of facts about the Bears when they were still the Steelers in the 1920s, and they came up later on to be the Chicago Bears. Right now, and the Papa Bear Hatless and everybody. I still know all that stuff. However, in the long term, at the end of the day, we got to stop living in 1985. Honest to God, stop living in 1985. It didn't. Exactly. It's happened. It's passed a lot of. Were you born in 1985?
Hell no.
Hell, the guy behind the camera born in 1985. Was I born in? No, we weren't. As Bear fans, please, for the love of God, it's embarrassing to know that we can talk trash every fucking year for this 5 fucking moves they make. It's interesting. We're going to the bowl this year.
Yeah.
We're not. Yeah. Chill.
Yeah.
Chill.
Right.
So yes, I've been seeing some of the stuff that Ben Johnson's doing. Cool. I'm not worried about the offense right now. I'm actually worried about the defense.
I agree. I think I'm on the same boat. Most of them are same players, at least in the meantime. But at this point right now, the coordinator.
There's no line.
I don't know.
There's no line. There's no line.
Very difficult.
Right now, if I was the Bears, instead of spending with the additional money they had, Philadelphia would go as their front four, except for one. The front four that won in the Super Bowl. And they should. People were saying, give these guys a nickname because they have been disturbing the Kansas City Chiefs all game.
Yep.
Them from 4, 3 of them left.
Yep.
Why did the Bears sign anybody? I'll wait.
Yep.
But
now, do you think they should go after that Bengals tight defensive end that wants to leave? Henderson?
Henderson? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Give something to sweat. Give something to sweat.
Correct.
But no, we're not. We're going to sit back and say, we need a running back, guys. A running back. We need another wide receiver.
Yeah.
That's what we should have got. We should have got another tight end on a running back.
Yeah. That whole thing was nuts. Now, I guess
people were saying we need a Nick Chubb. Oh, okay.
What I think all my years of knowing you and stuff, and us being
fucking frustrated. I'm sorry, I'm so pissed.
Where does the passion come from? Like what was your first memory in watching of a sport event?
My dad.
Yeah.
For me, it was if I was to go sports entertainment, it was WWE.
Okay.
I discovered it when I was 4, and I discovered it with Shawn Michaels, and I went forward from there. After that, I mostly dipped into it. So I
Mhm.
dipped into it football with my dad.
Right.
My dad was really big into it. My dad got me into like watching more than just the Bears.
Yeah.
You know, he was. I'll never forget the year that Chris Carter got 1,000 yards or something like that. I forgot he broke a record
Ran with the Vikings.
with
Yeah.
the Vikings. Chris Carter, I think it was like his final season. Dude,
Mhm.
my dad and I, we weren't crazy. We were excited. We were like, yeah, dude, go for it. That's awesome. The fact that you did that. That's
Right.
really freaking awesome.
Right.
Excuse me. When Emmitt Smith broke Walter Sweeten's Peyton record,
Mhm.
we were excited for that. You know, because like I saw my dad really grow up around me and really have like the love of the sport.
Mhm.
You know, with basketball, same thing with the Bulls and stuff. To this day, I'm still a Chicago White Sox fan. Pretty soon, the Tennessee White Sox, the Nashville White Sox.
Crazy.
But I mean, honestly, dude, that's where it came. It came from my dad, and actually, I started getting older. I started growing more into it. I started loving more of the sport.
Mhm.
And started following other players. My girl actually for Father's Day, because I don't have an actual child, I have a dog,
Yeah.
and she called it Father's Day. You know, trying to be cute, and so she got me a Brian Dawkins jersey,
Yeah.
and I showed it to my
Nice.
dad. I'm like, "Who is this?" He just looked up at it. He's like, Brian Dawkins.
Mhm.
He didn't look at the name now. He just saw the number.
Yeah.
Brian Dawkins. I know who that is.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So that's why it's like for me, it's like that's where my passion for it came. You know, that's like where my love of the sport came. It's just not even just football. It's basketball. I'm a little bit still with baseball. You know, I've gone to a couple Sox games this year. They
Right.
won both times. Let's go, boys! Fireworks.
How many cheap was their tickets? You might as well just be.
They weren't cheap, dude.
Not this year, right?
They weren't cheap this year. No.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have not been cheap. I'm like, listen, man, you guys kind of like at least be okay with the water. We had the worst freaking record in history,
Yeah.
you know, and yet we can't even pardon anybody. Get y'all want to lead and sell the team, but chill.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
There's that one. I went to both of them. I actually took my dad the last time the Bulls went to the playoffs against the Milwaukee Bucks in 2015.
Mhm.
That season, I ended up taking my dad to the first game. I ended up taking him to United Center. So, like I said, man, my passion has really come from my father,
Mhm.
and it's just bloomed from there for me. You know,
With
I
that-
grew,
Go ahead. Continue.
I grew with it as a love.
Yeah.
That it was like more like I just became obsessed with it. Just became just passionate about it, and I started just not just hating the Packers because you know they're Bears arch rivals. I started hating the Pittsburgh Steelers because they cheated against the Seattle Seahawks and the Patriots because of fucking Tom Brady.
That's facts.
You know, so that's why, like, that's all my passion. But you were gonna ask your question. Go
Yeah, I
ahead.
was gonna ask, like, with the passion that comes with that, I think did that help or a good relationship to have with your father and how it is, how tight and close it is now?
Honestly, yeah. I mean, to this day, we still. It became, aside from like a relationship, it also became like a mini competition.
Mhm.
So me and my dad, we also watch soccer.
Yeah.
And my dad, if you're watching this one, it's just shout out for you. So I started going for the national team of Argentina. I know, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm Mexican, but whatever. Back in 2007,
Mhm.
and it was for a player. It wasn't even for Lionel Messi. It was because of Carlos Tevez. It was my guy. It was my G, and to this day, still one of my all-time favorite player.
Mhm.
And so during that time, I was becoming more an Argentina fan. And my dad always talks trash. Always talks trash. Always got to get that.
That's our
rip.
family tree. Let's put it that way. Our family
Really,
tree
you know?
is a talk trash tree. So like it ain't family if you can't talk trash.
Can't back it up either.
Yeah.
So we went big. It was a 14 World Cup?
Mhm.
Yeah, my dad looks at me. He was like, "Hey, man, I bet you Mexico goes further than Argentina." I said, "No, they're not."
Mhm.
Yeah, man. Yeah, they are. They're gonna get further. Blah blah blah. I'm like, "Well, let's go ahead and make a bet on it." He's like, "All right, cool." So me and him, we don't gamble for money.
Yeah.
We don't gamble for money, but we like to go for the heart. We like to go for your ego.
Yeah.
So for him, I told him, I'm like, all right, cool. So if Argentina goes further than Mexico,
Mhm.
on your background, on your Facebook, you got to put the Argentina flag and
Right.
put the fact that you support Argentina.
Yeah.
He's like, all right, cool. I do the same thing. 100%. Let's go.
Yeah.
Since 2014, that flag is still on there.
See, that's passion, man. That's love.
That's just love, man.
That's
It's like
honor.
I told him, I'm like, how does it feel?
Yeah.
And for me, it was more like, again, that's like I said, I had the passion for it. Super random side story. You know me to this day. I've worked here for almost 10 years now,
Facts.
brother. So
Yep.
that I always go from here to here, but I always make a point about it.
Mm-hmm.
In 2022, when Argentina won the World Cup, I almost broke my foot twice.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, dude. Nah. So listen, when Messi scored the third goal, I was at home sitting down. My dog was on the couch. I turned around and I kicked the living hell out of that couch, dude. And my dog actually jumped off the couch. That's one.
And the dog's not that small neither.
He's
Like
a 25.
he's like a
25.
medium-sized kind of
Yeah.
dog. Like he ain't big as like Noah or whatever, but you know he's a medium-sized kind of
Yeah,
guy and a lot of hair. Hell of hair. Love the hair, man. Love the hair.
Messi's 25 pounds, and yeah, he got kicked. He was like, "Oh shit, okay." He went to the other side, and then when they won, it turned right around and kicked the living hell out of it again. Man, dude, I bawled my eyes out. That was funny. And I was like, it finally fucking happened. You know, finally saw my passionate team finally win the big one, and you know, I was happy for it.
No, that's good. Does that build good? I guess you a good mentorship when it comes to when, let's say, you going through a lot of stuff. There's, you know, obviously in lifestyle, people go through stuff. Knowing that there's been some challenges in your life, has that kind of helped with the dynamic of being comfortable to talk to each other and giving some advice? Or does that feel like you only get more of the sports style mentorship?
No, man. Actually, that's funny because I'm actually kind of mentoring him now. But in that aspect.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like life, there's moments where it's like we will bounce things off each other.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I told my honey, you know, for the last 2 years, I really decided to work on myself and focus on my personal growth. You know, I've been reading a lot of self-help books. I've been listening to a lot of podcasts, listening to a lot of stuff that I personally listen to that's really helped me. And I've been reading a lot of stuff as well that have gotten me. And my dad kind of has seen that change in me. My dad's like, "Hey, man, you know what? Let's go ahead and I want to talk to you about this." Cool. My dad had a problem with one of his brothers. I got a question for you. What's going on, man? How would you take this? Well, this is what I would do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. I'm like, just don't make a big fuss about it because remember, you know, you still got two parents in heaven. Kind of keep it chill, you know, like think what would they do if they were here? How would they feel if they were here?
Right.
You know? So I had that moment, had that thought process because at the end of the day, like you don't want to go overboard with something.
Right.
You know, and remember there's still blood, you know,
Mm-hmm.
still brother, it's still sister, it's still cousin, it's still whatever. So you can go ahead and they can piss you off, but at the end of the day, just go ahead, walk it off and just say, you know what? I'd rather just cut ties with the person or at least keep them, as I like to say, at a jabbing distance from you, where it's like they can know about you when someone else tells them. They can have your phone number, they can have your Facebook, stuff like that. But at the same time, though, it's like, we cool. Like, at the end of the day, I'll tell you, yeah, that's my uncle, that's my cousin, that's my sister, that's everybody. But personally, like, it's not going to be like, I don't talk to the individual, though. I wish them the best in life, though, because what you wish in life, so when you wish somebody bad, it comes back to you.
Tenfold, right?
So it's like, I don't believe in that stuff. I believe more in, you know what, may God bless you 100% for going forward. May you be blessed, may your life be blessed. I'll watch you from afar, you watch me from afar. But understand, though, if you need help, any way, shape, way, form, where it's like comes down to it, let's have a different conversation.
Correct.
But until then, no, then you cool, I'm cool, we good.
Yeah. Move it along.
Absolutely,
Life goes on. No, that's good. When it comes to that too, like family being tight. I mean, with the family that you guys have, it's only yourself, Danny Boy, Danny Sneakers, shout out.
Danny Sneakers.
What's it called? Your mom and your dad. It being a night tight family, but the family overall itself is what 6, 7 of you guys. Well, you're between your dad's on your dad's side.
That says 8. Actually, 8.5.
Yeah.
8 or 9 because I don't consider her a half an inch. She's a full line. So,
yeah.
So 9. My dad, including my dad, is 9. My mom is 10.
And that's already a big family there. Now, was it more or less of you guys being just tight and knitted between yourselves, or did it feel like as if you guys may have felt it, maybe wished more, maybe you wish had another siblings more of to be bigger? So
me personally, I grew up an only child. Danny Sneakers came in, and I was 16, about to be 17.
Yep.
And my parents tried for like a couple times. Unfortunately, my mom had a couple miscarriages in life. So that still kind of left
it lingers.
Yeah, it still lingers. But when Danny Sneakers was about to be born, I remember the conversations I had with my mom. I was 16. I was having these conversations with her, and they were hard conversations. They weren't easy conversations to have with her.
Right.
And then when he was born, it was a whole different dynamic. So it's like I kind of, when I was 12, my mom had a major miscarriage, and I saw her really struggle with that one. And it was like, I kind of said, listen, if there's one more, awesome. If not, I'm okay being an only child. I have one more cousin on my mom's side that is an only child.
Mm-hmm.
So I get it. You know, it's like I saw her as my little sister. To this day, I call her cousin, but because I want to call her sister. And even she said to me, you are my big brother, because we were always together growing up, and we were honestly the only children for the longest time until then the sneakers came along.
Right.
So then, though, yeah, that's how it was for me, you know. So I was okay with her, you know, just being little sister. You know, to this day, she still is little sister.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why.
And it's good. I mean, you know, I know for a fact a parent in general losing, you know, having a miscarriage. I one particularly, you know, in that same boat myself too. You know, me and Chloe, you know, had one right after Julie. It was going to be the fifth one, and you know, we just felt like it more likely would have been another girl. You know, it is what it is. Got a name for it. We did a little prayer, so we kind of did a little ceremony thing. But with parents, it's like it kind of plays a big toll afterwards. You know, plays a big toll, and it takes a lot of time before that mental aspect of things to kind of change. And I think knowing you as a son and knowing you as an older brother and stuff, that must have been a big burden to kind of, I gotta be here somewhat support mentally. I gotta not necessarily be the bad child. I gotta help. You know,
I still was a troublemaker.
you know, and that's just in the case of who we are. It's nature. But I think I have to admire and, you know, appreciate on one side of you as a person who you are, of being able to kind of be there for your family and especially for your mom and dad. And the love that you have for your mom, you know, it shows, and it's a lot of times for children and for men in general, it may not be something that we're prone to do based on our struggles and stuff like that. And I have to give you your flowers for that. I mean, that's what's up. And it shows, you know, it shows the growth in you as a person, and also kind of says the kind of man that you are when you have your own relationship and once you start having kids. Yeah. Because once that comes down to it, that's your pillar.
Yeah.
Love your mom, respect, you know, nothing else, no change. We're here as a family. We're going to be there.
100%.
And that's good. Now with Danny being the big bro, he just graduated just recently. You know,
I was in the rain.
Yeah.
I did, bro. It was literally raining, and we saw the rain coming, and I'm texting my mom like, I get the fact that they want to, like, because it was like the board of directors of education giving their speeches. I'm like,
and it's not the first time they've done it either. So
you guys see, no, dude, we saw thunder, we saw lightning in the clouds, and I'm like,
thunder,
like
lightning, kachiga.
Bro, I felt like we were like even Imagine Dragons, lightning and the thunder. I'm like, yo, listen, like. That's y'all crazy. Not see, and they even said, we see the rain coming. Then why don't you hurry up?
Yep.
Why don't you move forward?
Speed it up.
Just shut up and just say, thank you for coming. Here's your 1,000 kids.
The group of Garcias just come on up at one time, y'all, because the group of Lopez's come on up. Hey, Rodriguez, let's go.
Everybody in the A, coming up. B, coming up. C, D, E, everybody. Dude, they had 1,000 kids graduate this year.
That's crazy.
And it just got to the point where it just everything got discombobulated.
Yeah.
Because Dad and I were sitting there, and we got back in the rain. Because at first we're like, all right, cool. Right, we got two options. Either number one, we could go in the trees at Waukegan High School. We could just stand in the stands, cheer on Danny for his big moment. Let's go cheer him on for the big moment.
Right.
So then in the middle of the whole stands, getting soaking wet and everything, and we start looking, and they're like on the D's. Excuse me. All right, cool. Danny's about to come up. They go from D to L.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck. Wait, what happened?
Yeah.
How do I? Then we're still waiting. I'm like, dude, Dad, I don't know what's going on, because they went from O to P to back to G, back to D. I'm like, I don't get the whole momentum here.
If I'm not mistaken, since I left high school, alphabetical order was alphabetical order. Did we change what's going on here? Okay.
Didn't know what's going on, but I was like, all right, cool. So we're going to stand more in the ring without an umbrella. All right, cool. Then, little brother Danny got sneakers. He got his diploma.
Nice.
I shot like if I went to a WWE event.
There you
go. Had a couple people turn around and look at me. I didn't care, because I'm like, I'm here for my brother, dude. Like,
right.
I'm seeing him walk. I didn't see him walk when he was in kindergarten. I didn't see him walk when he was in 5th grade, because during that time was a little bit of a darker time. I had to be with my mom, so I didn't walk. She didn't even see him walk. So for us, this was a really special moment. My mom, because of her health condition, she really can't be outside in the rain like that. So she's like, I'm just trying to stay safe.
Yep.
You're fine. Do what you have to do.
Right.
Understand, I don't care. I'm going to risk myself out here.
Yep. Now, I'll be seeing that part with Danny. I think, have you ever had a chance or a moment since then to kind of look back at it and be like, man, this has been a good long journey for him from when he was little man to being graduate and now moving on to his lifestyle?
Every day. Even though he probably doesn't see it and probably doesn't think about that, but honestly, it's an everyday thing.
Yeah.
It's an everyday thing for me because I remember seeing him, remember holding him here in my hands. You know, there's a picture I wish I could have saved it from my old computer. You know, this was an SG3. I was going through this like really punk phase, and I had my black fingernails and everything. And someone took a picture of me holding him. He was a newborn baby.
Yeah.
And that day, I knew, this kid's going to be amazing. This kid's going to be fantastic. Seeing him with his personal struggles, seeing him with his own personal demons, and it's like, dude,
relationship struggles.
but it's just like, it's not even just relationship, dude. It's education. Education struggles. I've seen him go through it all, and I'm like, look, dude, I may not be there all the time, but understand, dude, I'm cheering you on from the sidelines as loud as you possibly can ever imagine.
Right.
And even though it doesn't seem like I'm doing anything for you, I'm doing more than you could ever imagine for you. I love you. Keep moving. If you see this, honestly, dude, I'm telling you right now, keep doing what you're doing. Don't change a thing. Keep moving forward. You're gonna make it big in whatever you do. I believe in you. You got this. I love you.
That's good. And I think not a lot of times us being the older siblings, in which you're the older sibling in the family, myself and mine, it's whatever.
Somebody's hating.
Hey, hater! I got the hater in the back, guys. I got Zach the back. You're the hater in the back, man. But it shows like a lot of times it's it's that. Yeah, I'm not your parent per se. I am the older sibling, but it's the acknowledgement of like, it's nice to see the journey.
Well, for me though, I grew up being Danny's dad. I mean, and my mom were having a conversation about it as I was given Danny as a son. Danny wasn't just as a brother to me. Danny was a son because there was a lot of things I did with him that couldn't be done by my parents. And again, it's not nothing bad on them. I'm not bashing them, even though it sounds like I'm not bashing them 100%. I get it. They had to work. They had to go ahead and find a way to put food for us on the table,
right,
and make sure the fact that everything was fine. But I wanted to take care of them in a different light. So I really did try my best to protect them as best as I possibly could. And so I look at it and I'm like, yeah, dude, you were blessed with 2 dads, not 1. And and it's like now the fact that I've not been so communicative with my own family because of my own personal life and everything. It's like, I know he feels some type of way about it. And it's like, you have to understand, at the end of the day, even though it was honestly my mistake, it was nobody else but my mistake because I overstepped my boundary for you. Instead of just being your big brother to be your shield when you needed it,
right,
I was also your dad because there was a lot of times that it slipped. Hey, Dad. Brother, oh yeah, my bad. Hey, my bad. I'm like, you're fine.
No one has left. Like how it goes, and I have to, concur sometimes in that too. It's more or less of like that, It's I took it as growing up with Zach the Mac. We were what are we, 7 years apart, so obviously we had to do the growing up together perspective at some points, like. The struggles I was going through at the same time were not really his struggles at the moment either, And with communication and information, it's hard to express it that, we're in the same household. We may be going through the same thing, but my life is this in this time frame and your life is in this time frame.
Yeah.
Our challenges seem similar, but they're 2 different things.
Yeah.
And it's kind of hard to point and it's hard to make that understanding for both not to hold grudges or for not to hold any type of animosity towards it because you don't want that to be that way. Nope. You truly don't have the means to do that. I think it just comes within the time frame and it comes with what's going on in life. It's like a lot of times whatever's happening with you is sucking a lot of energy from you and you don't really realize until after a certain small moment, When something happens, it could be a spur of a moment where, someone gets upset or whatever. And I think that's what took me and Zach the Mac for a good minute was a moment of, hey, we're hanging out. It's a birthday. And, all of a sudden the emotion, the past comes up and whatever case to be. Right. And then all of a sudden now it's that reality check of like, you know what? We haven't had a conversation in quite some time.
Yep.
And you know what? This conversation needs to be done. It needs to be said. It needs to be had because understand, I didn't mean this. I didn't want this for you in this way.
Yep.
You're my brother. At the end of the day, we're brothers, and I love you. It's more or less of you take care of me, I take care of you. We go into a bar, we walking out, not necessarily holding hands, but in a sense, but in a sense, we walking out as partners. We're walking side by side. You go into a club or you go into a stadium, you two are the one two are going to be walking out together holding hands. And at the end of the day, that doesn't change.
Yep.
And also, too, we're going to be the ones here to hold up the family. We have to make sure our communication is good, so that way mom and pops is good. They fine. They taken care of. They see that their kids communicate, that they appreciate each other. And that's a big thing. That's a really big thing. Now going back on, you mentioned your mom going through illness and stuff. What was that? How did that feel during that time frame?
I was personally, it was difficult because my mom was going through stage 4 breast cancer. That's why I'm always rocking a pink bracelet. I'm always during October. I always rock pink in front of a camera because my mom was going through stage 4 breast cancer. I had to be her interpreter. I had to be the one in the room with her for chemotherapy. I'm the one that had to give her good news, bad news, let her know how things were. Really give it to her like flat out. Hey, this is what's going on. This is how it's happening. When she found out, it was like, well, I want my son here. So I went there and it was like, so you have stage 4 or you're beginning stage 4, like where your breastbone is, or where your chest bone is, right there at the top. She was already having about that much already covered in cancer. I'll never forget that image as long as I live. And it was like, well, and I'll never forget what the doctor told her. This is an experiment.
Yeah.
It's not even an actual
trial
treatment.
Yeah, treatment.
It's actually not even a treatment. It's more like you're a guinea pig.
Mm-hmm.
I tell my mom that you're a guinea pig. Like, we'll see how it goes. You're gonna get I'll never forget a chemotherapy, surgery, and then radiation. 32 to 34, I think. I forgot if it was like 30. It was mid 30s, low to mid 30s. So it was one of those situations where it's like, oh, we're gonna do vice versa: radiation, surgery, chemotherapy. We'll go forward from there. And I think personally, man, that it was. I had to be her strength. I had to be her fortitude, because there were times where she was, like when she was starting to lose her hair.
Yeah.
I was the one who shaved her head.
Mm-hmm.
I was the one who had to shave her head and like watch her like look at me, and it's like it sucks. I get it.
Yeah.
When we were in the hospital, I really wouldn't even use the restroom.
Mm-hmm.
The only time I ever really left my mom was to go get lunch for myself, because you're there for almost the whole day. Mm-hmm. It's like a whole work day.
Yeah. So
I was there from 10 in the morning. We come out at 4 or 5 in the afternoon. So it's like, literally. It's one of those situations where you have to make sure that she was okay. Mm-hmm. And when I was at work, she had to take a certain pill by 4 o'clock, 4:30. I walk away from my desk, give her a phone call.
Mm-hmm.
Did you take your pill?
Yeah.
Yeah, I took my pill. Okay, cool. And every day it was the same thing. Did you take your pill? Did you take your pill? How do you feel? Mm-hmm. How are you feeling? And it's like during lunch, give her a call. Hey, how are you feeling? Mm-hmm. Do you have energy today? If you don't have energy, take a nap.
Yeah.
My mom, being Mexican, is always, I want to work. I want to work. I want to work.
I need to move. I can't just sit still.
And I told her, it's okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like sometimes, it was like, it's okay. Relax. Sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're not trying to sleep, then just rest.
And don't feel bad. Don't feel bad.
Don't feel bad. Don't feel like it's bad on you. Like just relax.
Ramen noodles is fine. I can live off of it. That's fine.
Peanut butter, dude. I was making myself turkey sandwiches.
There you go. Protein.
With the Mexican mayonnaise.
Yeah.
Still to this day, I call them a poor man's sandwich. But I take 2 pieces of bread, put some mayo on one side, slap another piece of meat on the other side, slap 2 pieces of turkey. Call it there. That's my sandwich.
Hey,
sandwich.
My sandwich is peanut butter bread.
Peanut butter and
done.
jelly. Yes.
Done. Peanut butter bread done. Just give me that. I'm fine. But yeah.
But so that was that, and it was just mostly like making sure she was eating right, making sure. So it was like I felt like I was taking care of another kid. Mm-hmm. It was like okay, it was okay. It was okay because it's my mom. She took care of me when I was a kid. She had to change me.
Right.
I didn't wake up and like out of the blue, hey, I'm going to potty train myself today.
Right.
So it's like it's the least I could do.
Did you ever
So-
feel like there were times it was a little too much?
Because it was difficult. It was like you're sitting there and you're like, how can I tell her?
Mm-hmm.
And I'll never forget the day that I had to give my mom the hardest news. Hardest news was where she looked at me and she was like, "Mijo, you know, I'm almost done with my sessions. I'm almost done, and we're gonna do radiation. After that, I'm done. I don't have to do anything, Mijo. I'm almost there." And I remember what the doctor said. And I looked at my mom. I held her hand. And I said, "Mom, I'm about to tell you something. I'm sorry for what I'm about to tell you, but I remember I'm doing this because I love you.
Mm-hmm.
You're never going to hear the words that you're in remission." "What do you mean?" "Mom, you're always going to be in treatment for the rest of your life." The exact words of the doctor are,
Mm-hmm.
"Your treatment is going to be either until your body rejects it or until you die.
Mm.
You're never going to hear the words that you're in remission, and I'm sorry, Mom." And she didn't want to believe me.
Yeah.
She honestly didn't want to believe me. She looked at me and it's so hard. she looked at me, held my hand, and she said, "Hey, are you sure?" I said, "Yeah." I'm like, "I could ask the doctor right now, right in front of you, and it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you don't have to be strong with me. I mean, I get I'm your son, but I understand, like, I'm walking this journey with you. You're not alone."
Mm-hmm.
And she said, "Okay, go ahead and ask." So I asked again. The doctor said, "Yeah," and I translated. And my mom looked at me, held my hand, and we got in the car, and she just almost bawled her eyes out. She's like, "I can't believe it." I'm like, "You're in remission. Like, you're safe,
Yeah.
but you're on treatment."
Right.
To this day, she takes an oral chemotherapy, one oral chemo pill, 27, 21 days out of the month. She's free for a week and then back on it later.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a constant cycle. And the only thing that they do is either, depending on her blood cells, it's either they increase it or they just decrease it, but it's still the same pill.
Yeah.
And they would ask the doctor, "Do you think it's going to go one day to the point where she doesn't have it?" It's always a "we'll see." It's never this is the last one.
There's no definite answer at this point.
I mean, don't get me wrong. They've given her breaks and they've said, "Yeah, you know, we're not going to need it for a couple months.
Yeah.
Let's see how body reacts."
Right.
And it's like, let's just get you back on it.
Right.
So, I mean, we'll see what the next steps are. You know, all I do is I pray to God every day that she's okay. She wakes up and she's okay.
Same from us. You know, family wise,
thank
we
you.
pray, make sure it keeps going with it, stay strong, because it's never good news. I mean, Zach the Mac and I, it's we kind of ran into a little scenario this past week of dealing with the same thing, and you know, a couple months ago we got somewhat in that sense of news to prep up to kind of understand how things go. And then, I mean, we're not shy, and you know, obviously you're prone to knowing this, but obviously our mom is an alcoholic. She deals with, you know, drinking addiction and stuff like that. And the last time, a couple months ago, was that same thing. We got the news of, hey, you know, you're right there, the borderline of what's that called with the liver?
Liver failure.
Cirrhosis. So it's more than likely we did some tests, and it seems like that's a sign. So we need to get you on some medications. We need to get you clean. We need to get your diet right in order to at least be stable. You know, enough to just keep moving forward if you want a prolonged life. If you want to stay, then this is the steps that you got to do. And then come Wednesday, you know, we had to rush her to the hospital, take her in there. They let us know that, you know, your liver's shut down. It's in bad shape. You're going to end up possibly put on the donors list. And your kidneys at this point right now are the main things. That's what's giving you pain right now. They're shutting down. The liver connects to the kidneys, connects vice versa. Keep your circle keeps you clean.
The great circle of life.
And it's shutting down. And so right now we got some good news today. The medication they changed and switched up to it. And at this point, it's a positive sign. It's working. You know, we got a priest in there. We got her to do her thing. I think that's one appreciative things. But it's the understanding of what to expect to come, because you never really can't anticipate. You can never really expect the worst thing that could possibly happen and really anticipate how your emotions are gonna have.
So I'm gonna tell you this. This is what I did. Because about session 5, session 6, my mom came to me bawling her eyes out, like almost squeezing my hand, squeezing my arm, squeezing just me. And she said, I don't want to do it anymore.
Mhm.
I don't want to continue with the treatment. I don't want to. I don't want to. I don't want to continue with treatment anymore.
Mhm.
I want to stop. I don't want to continue. And I told her, I was like, look, at that point, I was 27 years old. I'm not 35. And I told her, sorry, mosquitoes. I really do hate them.
Same.
And I told her, I said, Ma, listen, I'm about to tell you something. I'm 27 years old. My life is going to be made pretty soon with whatever's happening with me. Fight for Danny.
Mhm.
Danny at this point Danny that sneaker was about 10, 11 years old.
Mhm.
He's still got a whole life ahead of you. If it was just me, then go ahead. If you want to call it quits, then fine.
Mhm.
I will help you call it quits. Because I don't want to see you suffer anymore.
No.
But fight for him. Fight for him. Don't fight for me. Don't fight for Dad. We'll be fine.
Mhm.
I'll take care of him in some way, some I'll take care of me.
Right.
But I got him. As for you, though, worry about the young one.
Mhm.
Because he won't know a life without his mom.
Exactly.
So fight that. So honestly, it wasn't a guilt trip,
Mhm.
but it was more like a reason to keep fighting.
Exactly. A
So-
purpose. But just not knowing the purpose isn't just that. It means much more to the rest.
So maybe you should have to talk with your mom. From coming from someone who
I
had
know.
to like literally from here to where the barber chairs are at, where the glass is at.
Yeah.
Having to see my mom basically die to come back to life in front of my very eyes every single time, and I couldn't look at my mom because if I did, I'd cry.
Mhm.
And it's funny because my mom still goes to the same hospital. She gets a shot. If you want to give you kind of a measurement of my mom's shot, take a fork, take the 3 prongs of it and tie them together. She gets that in her stomach once a month.
Mm-mm-mm.
And sometimes, depending on who the nurse is, they'll tell her, your son was so brave. Husbands that come here with their wives and they don't stay.
Yeah.
Your son stayed with you the whole time. He never left, like never went to the bathroom, nothing. Like we've literally seen husbands, the moment the wife walks in,
Right.
I'm in the lunchroom, catch y'all later. Like, these are married couples and they can't stay in your son the whole time.
What does
Stay.
that mean? And that's also too that's also a bigger perspective that it maybe shed light on you. Like I know it does with me. I think that's always what I felt carried on moving forward in the sense of like that's one thing I didn't want my wife to understand, for her to go through on life, not knowing that her husband's that person to be there in that room. With the kids being born, with her illnesses and what we figured out how to manage her lifestyle, I'm there next to her.
Yeah.
And I do not want to be looked at, or even in my mind, to know that I was that person that was just sitting in the waiting room waiting. Because you're not helping with the person that you saying that you care about get strong, have the strength, keep moving forward, have something to fight for, and feeling like they're not alone. That's really the sucky part about that. And it helps you. I hope it does. It helps with the strength to kind of keep going with that stuff. And sometimes some people could be fed up with it and walk away and wash their hands clean, in a sense, and until their mind, they don't have no regret. But I guess with us, I'm not going to have that regret in my life. I'm definitely going to be that person right there. And it helps. And it makes you stronger. It makes the situation of understanding and appreciation for your life.
Yeah.
Your mom. And
100%. So that's why, for me, my advice to both of you in the room right now is talk to her and let her know, hey, you have the chance right now to really save yourself. You got a new grandkid.
Yeah.
You still got the 4 grandkids.
Right.
You got one that's about to be married.
Mm-hmm.
And you got a young one that still needs to grow up.
Exactly.
Don't stop fighting because life hit you.
Mm-hmm.
Keep moving forward because you have a lot of reasons to fight for.
Yeah. And we're here. I mean, the crazy thing is, like, I know for our family that myself, Zach, our sister, Ivory, little Ivory, being present there by her side, being in the hospital room with her. We all take turns. May not be all there at the same time, but making her feel you're not alone.
Yeah.
We're here. You know, we're even trying to manage how we can schedule what you need to get done and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's taking care of you, and it's as much as what we can to do. We can't always be doing everything per se, but at least knowing that we can have some type of effort and do what we can in our abilities, then makes the process memorable, appreciative more.
My advice to you though, because you're the older one.
Mhm.
Also, aside from the talk, check on her as
Yeah.
often as you can. Just a phone call. Even if you've been irked all day, because bro, I work in customer service,
Yeah.
so I work on the phones
Mhm.
all day. Good lord, I
Mhm.
would get fed up during that time because I had so many people cussing me off for whatever reason. And it's like, all right, cool, I gotta roll with the punches. And it's like, yeah, now I have to call somebody who either is going to either say I don't want to, say
Mhm.
I did it, or be asleep. And I'm worried now because I had to. For me, it was a almost half-hour drive, so I'd been at 5, and it was like detrimental that she took this pill at a
Right.
certain time. So it was like I can't make it home.
Mhm.
I can't make sure the fact that you're fine.
Right.
So it was definitely difficult during that time. And I was like, please answer. Please tell me you're about to take the pill, or please tell me you took it.
Mhm.
It was just something. And it sucked because, like, dude, there was a couple of times where I don't care because I no longer work at that company, so I could finally say it. Where it'll be like 4:05.
Mhm.
And I can tell the person along with it, they don't want to stop.
Yeah.
Cool, you know what, man? Let me place you on a real brief hold. Ma!
Right. Right.
You know, and I don't have shame for it, you know.
Yeah.
And that's one thing, like, personally, that I'll tell you, like, you being where you work at, you know, if she has to do a certain thing by a certain time, reach on her.
Yeah.
At least once a day, because that's gonna give her the most strength.
Right.
Is listening to her kids.
Exactly.
Don't get me wrong, dude. The visits they help a lot, but that phone call helps
Even
somebody
more.
fight. Heck, listen, my grandmother on my mom's side, grandma on my mom's side, she's 95 years old. She recently just fell. She's hurt her foot, hurt her knee, hurt her hip, and she hurt her head. I called her Friday, and I've been hearing from everybody. She's not doing good. She's not doing good. She's not doing good. All right, cool. So I called her Friday. You know, actually Thursday. I called her Thursday. When I called her Thursday, she started laughing. I started making her laugh again and everything. And today, again, I called her before I went out with honey. And first thing she said, I asked her, I'm like, how are you doing? She's like, I'm feeling a lot better. Like, those phone calls do help.
Yep.
For anyone out there, if you're going through something like this, don't hesitate to make that phone call, because your voice can really make a difference for just anybody. Mom, dad, brother, sister, cousin, uncle, grandma, grandpa, whatever.
Exactly.
Those words can mean so much.
Mhm.
One of the last things I said, my dad's mom, grandma, God rest her soul, before she passed, I sent her a prayer for grandmas. And I said, I'm thinking about you. I have you in my prayers. I love you. And I'll never forget that, you know, the fact that I did that for her. It's always like those little things give a person, like, it's like, you ever heard that person who left a suicide note on the San Francisco Bay Bridge?
I didn't heard a story, but I'm not
So
too sure.
basically, I don't know if it's a true story. I know what it
Yeah.
is. But basically, there was a person who put a suicide note, walked the bridge. Nobody acknowledged nothing, pulled a gun, dead.
Mm.
When they found the suicide note, it said, if one person can say hi to me, I won't commit. I won't do it. So it's like that hi can really change so much.
Exactly.
That voice can change so much.
Exactly.
And that's what I lived by when I was with my mom during that hard time. And right now with my grandma, I told her, I'm gonna call you every other day.
Right.
I'm not calling you every day because you got your life, I got mine, but
Exactly.
I'm calling you every other day. I'm gonna have a quick phone call with you. I don't care if it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever it is.
Say what's up.
But grandma, I got you.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's one of those situations where it's like, especially like the long distance, because my grandma's in Mexico, I'm here, so I can't go down the street. You know, hey grandma, here I am.
Right.
It's just a phone call means a lot, and I get it. We're all busy. Heck, believe me,
Life takes a toll, and it takes you away from everything what you feel like is important.
But a 5-minute phone call makes a lot of a difference.
Right. No, I agree, and that's a good thing at this point. And I think that's the same thing where I'm trying to teach the kids and make sure they understand too. Like,
if I was you, I'd have them call.
Oh yeah, like this.
Have Chloe, have them on the phone. Hey, you know what? All 4 of them are lined up here.
That was,
and even if you gotta bribe the kids, if you gotta bribe them, tell them, look, we'll go to McDonald's, we'll go get you some freaking ice cream after this.
Right.
Just say hi to grandma.
That's exactly what I mean. That was one of the first things I did too. I texted since they got their iPhone watches and stuff. And I told them like, hey, I texted the two oldest ones. I said, guys, get your siblings together. Do me a favor. Do a little prayer for grandma. She's not doing too good in the hospital. So just do a little prayer. We'll keep you posted and we'll talk about it later. And sure enough, I got back home from work and that was the first thing my Joshua, of all people, a little Josh, like first thing that boy said was as soon as I walked in, we did it. We prayed and stuff. And I'm like, you of all ones, man, you're the wild one, the one that causes trouble or, it's like going through his phase and stuff, right?
That's my godson.
And he's like, no, we did it. I'm like, but is everything okay? So, and that was the crazy thing. It's the growth that you see in them. And as long as myself and Chloe stay consistent, I think with the parenting part of things of showing that even those little things mean something. And especially with your siblings itself too, stay tight knit in that manner. And regardless of the struggles, whatever y'all going through, the bullshit you guys are going through, you guys are an anchor. Keep that anchor, and you guys can stay strong in that way.
By the way, I'm
Little
sorry.
things.
I'm about to say something to Chloe. By the way, in case this man never told you, comadre, how you doing?
So it's in that manner. It's fun, and it's nice, and it helps with the craziness that we just keep moving forward and the struggles and all that stuff. So yeah. All right, man. I think that's been a good show.
Yeah.
You got any last things you need to let out, let people know? The next episode of Windy City. You guys
Windy
gonna
City
be doing?
job site, whenever the microphone can work on Monday nights. So we say I'll see you at 9:30, 10 o'clock.
Just tune in on YouTube.
Just tune on YouTube.
Windy City Santa channel.
Make it better. Subscribe.
There you
Put
go.
some notification.
There you
We'll be on when we're on. That's it. Plain and simple. Just done.
Yeah, exactly.
Can't say nothing else with that because it's like, all right, bro, you're at 10, show up at 10, 10:05, 10:15, 10:20. I'm like, all right, man, whatever. Try to show 10:45.
Hey, whatever, man. We just do a show. Fine, whatever. We got 15 minutes. Let's get to it.
Like,
Turns into an hour. All right, that's good.
I was like, we got 45, and then before I realized, like an hour. I'm like,
yeah.
Fine. All right, here we go.
There you go. That's good though. But appreciate you stopping on by, man. Sparing your time with me.
Yeah,
Love
can't wait to chop it up
you
again
know.
pretty soon, man. We got to do a show before the football season starts.
Yes,
man. We got to
I
talk
agree.
football.
Yes, we do. I will be down for that
When
for sure.
you tell me the Bears are going to go 15
Hey, no. I've always been optimistic, and I said it last the same thing too. I'm always. You see how the system runs. The first couple games, that's going to tell you the rest of the season. So we shall see. We shall see this guy. Yeah. All right. Well, appreciate you stopping by. Thank you guys. Remember episode number 4 here with SG3. Special guests. Tune in next time. So like, subscribe, share with us. We'll see you guys later.
Peace.
That was good.